Hey everyone, it's Erik Thor here, and today I'm going to talk about the 8 things that I love most about INFJs. And okay, so this should be a really short video because there is really nothing worth liking about an INFJ. But I do need my watch time, I do need my views, it's very important to me that I get a lot of watch time, so I thought I'd still try to make this video. Okay, I'm going to be real here. I don't think I have liked INFJs a lot, and I don't think I've liked myself a lot, and I think that's come across in some of my videos, and honestly it's a problem. It's something I think we should talk about. I've been very negative about INFJs in many of my videos. I've focused a lot on the problems of being an INFJ and the issues that INFJs have, but it's not because I dislike INFJs, and in fact I've gone through a bit of an awakening, and I've had some experiences lately that have really put INFJs back on the map for me. Now, one of the most meaningful things that happened to me recently was I met an INFJ. A few months ago I met an INFJ, and she was incredible. Honestly, she was amazing. She was it was a relief to meet somebody like her. It was really reassuring. It felt really good. It felt really nice to talk to somebody that understood me, to feel when you were with somebody that you could be yourself with that person. Because I think INFJs, they make people feel like they can be themselves. Now, I'll be honest, this meetup, this great encounter with INFJ, it ended the way anyone could have predicted. She door slammed me within a week. And you know why she door slammed me? You know the reason I think why she door slammed me? Because this is really interesting. The truth was, when I asked her what was going on, and when she came up to me and she said, yeah, this is too much, I don't know, I don't like this doesn't feel right, then what I noticed was she was not angry with me. She didn't seem to be upset with me. It didn't seem like I had said or done anything wrong at that point, or anything that had caused her to dislike me. You know what I think it came down to? I think it came down to her own insecurities and self-doubt. Her feeling like, oh, I don't know if I can be a good friend to him. I don't know if I have a good influence on him. Maybe I'm not able to be the kind of friend that he needs. I think she had an idea in her head about what kind of a person she needed to be, and how she needed to be towards other people in order to deserve other people or to get close to other people. And that's, I think, something that hits very hard to a lot of INFJs. I think a lot of INFJs feel that they don't deserve their friends or family members or things like that, and because of that you get into that habit of constantly putting other people's needs before your own. But it was a good week, and honestly I'm grateful for that encounter and for what it was, and I think that is perhaps the inspiration for this video. So, what is the first thing I like about INFJs? The first thing I like about INFJs is our originality. What I'm seeing with INFJs that really get me going, like what really gets me to go like, whoa. And the first thing that I noticed about her, and something that I noticed in a lot of INFJs, is original ideas, unique perspectives, viewpoints I have not heard before. She had interpretations, she had perspectives, she had ways of thinking about the world that I hadn't heard before, and that was fascinating. To hear people that think for themselves and that value independence and that see the world from a new perspective, that's honestly incredible. And I think that's possible with INFJs and INTJs. These types, I feel INFJs and INTJs, they have the most pure version of introverted intuition possible, which allows them unfiltered, weird and strange and sometimes absurd and bizarre ways of looking at the world. But that's also part of the fun. It's not that INFJs are always correct about the world. That's not what's fascinating. It's that they think about the world, sometimes oddly, sometimes unusually, and that's interesting. The reason I'm making this video is because I know a lot of INFJs can be really, really hard on themselves. And if you are hard on yourself as an INFJ, why don't you go down, scroll down, past the subscribe button, past the like button, go down to the comment field and share something you like about INFJs and see what other people read, because truth is people like you. People think you're great. I know, you're not the person you want to be ultimately. You're not able to meet your ideals. You're not able to live up to your own personal expectations. You have things that are really important to you and you expect so much from yourself. But people don't expect that from you. People don't feel that way about you. People feel you're great. People feel they really appreciate your presence. People feel they really care about having you around. People feel that you're really awesome. So yeah, that's why I made this video, and these are my 8 points. These are my 8 reasons I love INFJs. Now, the second thing I really like about INFJs is they are really, really considerate. What I'm seeing from INFJs is they pay really close attention to how they influence you. INFJs, they are very aware of how they affect other people. That means INFJs, they tend to notice if people like them, or if people have a high energy or a low energy, if people are interested in them or if people are not interested in them. The good thing about YouTube is I have no idea if you guys are interested or not. If I was looking at you and I was talking and I noticed you start to drift, I'd probably panic and I'd lose my train of thought. But because I don't know, I don't realize how bored you are watching me, I can keep going and I can keep rambling and I can clear my head, and that's really nice. But yeah, anyways, what I'm seeing with INFJs and with INFJs that I interact with is just they really pay attention to me and to what I'm feeling, how I react and how I respond and how I deal with things. And that feels nice. It feels nice to be seen. It feels nice to know that somebody cares about how they impact me and how they come across, and that they take responsibility for how they affect me and my personality and my behavior and my actions. Because, everyone has a voice and a power, and not all people realize the impact words can have on other people. But INFJs do. The third thing I like about INFJs is INFJs are incredible problem solvers. The way I see it, INFJs master introverted thinking in order to really understand why things are happening. That means they analyze your behavior and they come up with logical explanations for things that you might feel are crazy or stupid. So INFJs have a succinct, simple way of really getting to the heart of the problem, or noticing the fundamental dynamics and mechanics that underlie your actions and your behavior. That means they can see and understand. And if you feel like you're crazy, or if you feel like you're weird, or if you feel like you're silly or something, INFJs don't feel that way. They see you and they know why you do what you do, and they find it perfectly logical, and to them it makes sense. Most of the time INFJs are able to explain things very, very well. And it's nice to have somebody that makes you feel understood on that level. The fourth really nice thing about INFJs is they put the spotlight on you. When you're with an INFJs, they're really good at putting the spotlight on you. That means INFJs, they have this ability to just sit and listen to you and nod and be like, okay, yeah. To really, really look at you, to really, really give you attention, to really, really make you feel seen. True, INFJs cannot do this all the time, and we should not expect them to. INFJs are not duty bound to constantly listen to every single problem or struggle that you have. And INFJs need to learn to voice and express boundaries and things that because they need to maintain their energy, they need to maintain their attention. But for focused, short bursts of time, INFJs can really, really listen, and can listen really well, and can pay close attention to what you're saying. And that's better than a lot of people, honestly. While a lot of people, they might half listen to you all the time, INFJs whole listen to you some of the time. And that whole listening, that deep listening, that's really nice, and that's really important. The fifth thing I like about INFJs is when INFJs develop the ability to be brave and to be vulnerable, they also develop the ability to use extroverted intuition. And that is really cool. Despite the fact that INFJs can be quite fearful about living in the here and now and going out into the world and putting themselves out there, a lot of INFJs have managed to really apply themselves in doing something they love. A lot of INFJs have put themselves out there, have taken risks, have traveled to different countries, have done fascinating things, have tried new things that nobody else dared to do. And despite the fact that many INFJs are highly sensitive people, despite the fact that they can be anxious and worried and often stressed or easily overwhelmed by things, they're still somehow able to go out of themselves and their comfort zone and put themselves out there and share their ideas and say what's on their mind and put their ideas out there and realize their thoughts in the world around them, despite the fact that it's difficult for them. And yeah, that's really brave and that's really amazing. The sixth thing I like about INFJs is INFJs have a really interesting way of using introverted feeling. I call INFJ FI sidekick FI. That means INFJs, they really tend to be your emotional sidekick. It's like INFJs are the people that put your FI in the dominant spot. When you're with an INFJ, you'll notice that you can be 100% yourself. That means INFJs, they're really good at making and giving you space to express yourself and what's on your mind. INFJs allow you to have and to own your own individuality and your own personality. Without judgment, INFJs listen to and respect you exactly for who you are and give you space to do it. In fact, INFJs love to get people to open up, and that's how they use their introverted feeling. It's low in their stack, but it's there, and they use it in a really cool way. So what you should notice is you can talk about with an INFJ about things you wouldn't normally open up about. You can be honest with INFJs about things that's happening in your life. And it comes naturally, it comes effortlessly, not the way you normally be used to it. It's easy to be yourself around an INFJ. Now, if you agree with me on this point, and if you think that INFJs are really original, really cool, really unique in how they think about the world, and really independent in how they form a worldview and opinion about life, a life philosophy of sorts, why don't you press the subscribe button? Because chances are, maybe I'll make another cool video, and maybe you're gonna like that one too. And what is the seventh thing about an INFJ? INFJs rarely use force unless absolutely necessary. INFJs are very careful about how they influence and how they affect other people, and that means they're not going to poke or attack you or yell at you or get at you for no reason at all. They will only do it if they think it's in your very best interests, and if they think you really need to hear it, and if they know it's really important. Most of the time INFJs will be very careful about their extroverted thinking, and they're not going to put it in your face, or they're not going to be direct or confrontational towards you unless it's absolutely necessary. And that's a difference with a lot of people that will confront you on the smallest thing or will get aggressive about the smallest disagreement or the smallest issue. You can have difference of opinion with an INFJ. You can feel differently than an INFJ. You can make decisions they won't agree with. But they're not going to immediately come at you with their claws. They're going to try to understand you first. They're going to try to rationalize and explain what it is you're doing. And they're going to try to see where you're going with it and what your future looks like. And only if that all seems to be terrible, only then are they really going to come at you for what you did. Finally, what is the nicest thing about an INFJ? I think the nicest thing is INFJs are never going to give you shit for having bad introverted sensing. The truth is, a partial explanation for this is INFJs have the worst introverted sensing of all personality types. But another reason is they don't care about that stuff. They don't require that from you. If you're late to an appointment, they're not going to be upset with you for being late to that appointment. They probably brought a book along with them anyways, and they probably anticipated it happening. Or they were perfectly content to just sit and daydream and think for a while until you showed up. INFJs, they're not gonna hold you accountable or hold you responsible for things you said you were gonna do and couldn't do or couldn't come true on all the time. They're not gonna push you on things you said or did and that you didn't do. They're not gonna narrow or nitpick on every decision you made or how you did it or how you could have done it differently. They're gonna listen to and they're gonna make you feel allowed to be free. They're gonna give you freedom, a lot of freedom, to just be yourself, to just go with the flow and do what you like best. And INFJs, we might be judging types, but we mainly focus our control on ourselves. So here's what I'm noticing, and that's that INFJ judging is not extroverted judging, it's introverted judging. And that means INFJs, they are very self-controlled, they choose their words carefully, they're cautious with how they present themselves, they think and deliberate on how they should act and what they should do and when and how they should do it. But they don't care about how you do things. They're not gonna get in your face and try to control you or organize you or take care of your life. They're gonna allow you to make your decisions, and instead they're gonna act as your guide. They're gonna listen to you and hear, okay, why are you doing that and where are you going? And okay, if that's what you really want, they're gonna let you do it. The other part about INFJs is INFJs, they might be introverts, but really, actually, they are ambiverts. And that means INFJs, they're not afraid to be a little bit spontaneous or to go out and talk to a person who they think is interesting. Okay, truth is, most people don't interest me as an INFJ. Most people that exist in the world, I never think about, I don't even know they exist. But if I find somebody interesting, I'm not afraid to go up and talk to you. If I think you're cool, I'm gonna approach you. And that's what I noticed with other INFJs, like that INFJ lady. Like, she was the one that approached me and said, hey, you look cool, let's talk. And I thought that was really cool that she did that, that she was able to go out and be outgoing despite being an introvert and despite having a huge need for alone time and having an internal processing. If an INFJ is interested in something or finds somebody cool or finds some person nice, yeah, they're gonna go out there and they're gonna really see, okay, what is this person all about and what's cool about this person? Finally, something I really like about INFJs is, and we're getting past 8 points now, we're getting like to point number 10 or 11, but I just can't stop. What I like about INFJs is their hard-hearted idealism. INFJs are like scientific idealists in a sense, because we look for rational, logical, or thinking strategies to achieve high ideals. INFJs, they might be idealists. We might have high ideals or expectations. Most of the time we have high expectations on ourselves. But most of all, INFJs think about, okay, how do I live up to these ideals? How do I make these things happen? And that means INFJs go into thinking to do that. INFJs really think carefully about how they're going to solve their problems and how they're going to make things happen. So if I can give one piece of advice to you as an INFJ, that is, accept yourself. Make peace with yourself. Make peace with who you are. Sure, you have high ideals, but that doesn't have to compromise or come at the expense of self-love. Sure, you want a lot for yourself, but that doesn't mean that you can't appreciate who you are and who you are able to be right now. Sure, you have high morals, you care about how you influence other people and who you are to other people, but that doesn't have to mean that you can't appreciate and love yourself for who you are and how you live and how you treat other people today. The ideals of the future or thoughts of who you could be or what you could achieve or what you could amount to should only be there to guide you, to motivate you, to lure you forward. It should only be about fascination to discover who you could be and what your next level could be. It should never be frustration about who you are and why you're not good enough and why you're not the way you see yourself possible of becoming. So, I'm going to result to this. I'm gonna be nicer to you INFJs in my future videos, and I hope that you will do the same. Result to this, be nicer to other INFJs and be nicer to yourself as an INFJ. Thank you for watching and see you all in the next video.